Good afternoon. We call this meeting to order.
Good afternoon. We call this meeting to order. I'm Deborah Suggs. I'm a resident of Marion Park, which is owned by Mercy Housing, and Mercy Housing is a member of DuPage United.
My name is Nader Hamdan. I'm from the Mecca Center, and we will be your co-chairs for this evening. Good evening and welcome, everybody. Thank you all. Are we going to clap? Okay, I like that. Thank you for clapping. As we're all gathering here today to do three things. We're here to celebrate DuPage United's 20 years of organizing. We're reflecting on our recent local and community work, and we're here to take action on future work. Before we begin, though, I do just have a few announcements. This assembly is being recorded, so those of you who do not want to be on camera, please let a member of our floor team know. Those of you who are on the floor team, please raise your hands, wave, do what you want to do to be noticed. Second thing is we encourage you to use the QR code near the entrance to check in smoothly. So if you have not done so, please go and do that really quickly. Translation services are available for those who need them on the Zoom. So you can access them through that, and the Wi-Fi password and QR code for the Zoom will be displayed on the screen for easy access right here. And those of you who do need to step out to really quickly to pray Maghrib Salah, the prayer area is located in the library where we just walked in. So you'll be able to do that quietly when you need to pray. In the front pews right here are reserved for disabled guests to ensure convenient seating and accessibility. And lastly, well, two things actually. So those of you who are doing roll call, please go to the wall to my right, your left, right here, so you can get ready. And then the last thing is bathrooms. They're right here through this door. So if you need to go, please quietly make your way there. And thank you. So right now I'd like to hand it over to Reverend George Smith for opening remarks.
So welcome and bienvenidos a todos, a todas. Yes, my name is George Smith and I serve as the rector of St. Mark's, and we are here to underscore the united in DuPage United. I think another thing, let's applaud that. United, DuPage United. And what I can see with my eyes is something called hope. And we are here to put hope in action. One thing I want to offer to you as a welcome is the art that's here around you. This is called Awakening the Spirit Within. And all of these pieces of art, 25 and older, were created by people who experience mental illness. And it's important to welcome them into this space and their art. And so it's for you to enjoy and to see and to appreciate. So if you want to stick around for a few minutes afterward, it's there for you. So we're grateful for their art and their contribution. And again, I just want to offer a welcome. And lastly, after this event, after the assembly, a group called One Community is hosting a dinner in our parish hall, and you are all welcome. So there's more. And again, I'm going to turn it over to the next person. Thank you for being here and welcome.
Next up, I'd like to invite Sheikh Rizwan Ali for opening reflections.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May God's peace and blessings be upon all of you. Thank you to the organizers for putting this event together. In difficult times, it is therapeutic to come together with people who share the values of compassion, empathy, and justice. In a world full of chaos, confusion, and darkness, I pray that this group and this assembly serves as a beacon of light, providing clarity, courage, and direction to impact our county and the world positively. As this group has stood together in the past to accomplish amazing things, I pray that we can all stand together, united as one, against hate, intolerance, discrimination, apathy, and all that ails our county and world. As people of conscience, when we see injustice or discrimination, we are responsible for speaking up, raising awareness, and trying to help in any way that we can. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. A lot of people will care when it's convenient or easy, or it affects them directly or personally. But true courage is to stand for those who can't stand for themselves. True courage is to stand for those who are abused, neglected, and abandoned. I pray that this assembly is an inspiration for all of us to think globally while acting locally. I pray that this group is united to give a voice and advocate for those who have been dehumanized and stripped of their voices and basic human rights. May God ease the suffering of people in DuPage County and all over the world and grant justice to those who are being oppressed. May God make us all sources of justice, peace, goodness, benefit, and light to our families, our communities, our county, and the world. Amen. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the elected officials present. So if you are an elected official and you hear your name, please stand up when it is called. Miss Liz Chaplin, the DuPage County Board. Miss Paula McGowan, Regional Board of Education. Senator Seth Lewis, State Senator of District 24. The Honorable Leah Setson, Circuit Court Judge. President Mark Senek, the President of the Village of Glen Ellen. Representative Tara Costa Howard, State Representative of the 42nd District. And Mr. Michael Childress, DuPage County Board, District 1. Now we will begin our roll call for our member institutions. So let us begin.
I'm Terry Pope from Faith Lutheran Church in Glen Ellen with its 814 members, including the 25 representing us here today.
Hi, I'm Joel Spenedel from Congregation Etzheim in Lombard. We're founding member of DuPage United. We have about 500 member families, well over 1,000 adults and children in our congregation.
David Rinaldi, Church of the Holy Nativity in Clarendon Hills, and we have 7 members present.
My name is Mary Jersick. I'm from First Congregational Church of Downers Grove, and we have approximately 450 people in our congregation, and we have 7 of us here today.
Good evening. My name is Noman Hussein. I'm the resident scholar of the Islamic Foundation in Villa Park. We have a congregation of a couple of thousand people, and tonight we have about 15 with us here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Miguel Briones, a deacon in St. Mark Church, and we are about 1,000 members in the community and 25 present tonight.
Hello, I'm Rabbi David Eber from Congregation Beth Shalom in Naperville. We have about 240 member families, 8 of whom I believe are here with us today.
My name is Reverend Seth Carey of the First Congregational Church of Glen Ellen. Our faith institution is home to about 475 families, and we've got about 20 folks here this afternoon.
I'm Reverend Anders Nelson. I serve St. Paul Lutheran Church in Wheaton. We have about 400 people in our membership rolls, and we have 4 of us here today.
I'm John Jacobs from Union Church of Hinsdale, UCC Congregational Church, and we have about just short of 1,000 people, and we've been with DuPage United for about 8 years now. Lucy Terabor and I are the representatives here.
Hi, Hi, my name is Faiza Khan. I'm representing ICNUR Relief. We're a social services organization that serves thousands each month. We're based out of Glendale Heights, and today we have 15 people representing.
My name is Mike Ryder from St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic Church in Naperville. We are proud founding members of DuPage United. We have about 3,000 registered families and over 10 people here today.
Kevin Latner, First Church of Lombard. We're a congregation of 300 members, and I brought 12 members today. Thank you.
My name is Carolyn Wolf. I'm here with Yorkfield Presbyterian Church from Elmhurst. We have about 250 members, and 8 of us are here today.
Hi, I'm Carol Sikorsky. I'm representing Marion Park Apartments in Wheaton. And we had about 47 sign up, and I think we have 25 represented here today.
And good evening and assalamu alaikum. My name is Irene. I represent the Mecca Center. It is a mosque in Willowbrook. We have about 700 members, and we are represented by 10 of them tonight. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kashif Akil. I represent the Islamic Center of Naperville. We have about 6,500 families that we serve in and around the Naperville area, and we have about 12 people representing here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our member institutions. Now I'd like to call up Rabbi Weiner for the framing of this evening.
Good evening. My name is Rabbi Jesse Weiner, and I am one of the rabbis at Congregation Etz Chaim in Lombard. Today, we are here because in the face of all that is wrong in the world, there are also great things that are happening, many of them right here in DuPage County, and many of them thanks to you all and the work of DuPage United. This year, we are celebrating the 20th year of DuPage United. So by a show of hands, How many of you have lived in DuPage County for 20 or more years? Wow. And how many of you have been direct or indirect beneficiaries of the work of DuPage United and the initiatives over the past 2 decades? I would hazard to guess that even those of you who didn't raise your hand may have been indirectly impacted by some of the amazing work of DuPage United and may just not yet know it. It is no secret that coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, rebuilding momentum has not been the easiest. Yet we have made significant progress in gaining support and approval for the Glen Ellen housing proposal, 48 affordable units for essential workers and people with special needs. We are celebrating the opening of a mental health center that will function like an ER for people in mental crisis. We are applauding the progress made of the much-needed pedestrian crosswalk on Roosevelt Road, led by the leaders of Marion Park apartment complex in response to 22 people injured or killed over a decade. It is the deep local work in many parts of the country that builds our shared power across the entire county. You may be wondering why it is that I, a rabbi and someone who has only worked in DuPage County for 2.5 years, am up here sharing this with you today. I am here because I am inspired by all of the work that you all have accomplished and because of how dedicated DuPage United is to welcoming newcomers as a way of continuing to build power within our ranks. I am here because I wish that someone had told 14-year-old Jessie Weiner that doing the work of making change is a long and sometimes arduous process, but that we don't have to do it alone. And I am here because I wish that someone had told the younger me that there was this idea of community organizing as a model for making change. I am here because together we are building power so that when the next person stands up and says our community needs to change, we are there, standing together, ready to build power and bring about change to our community. And I am here because today we are saying no to powerless and yes to building power with. Our ability to build power doesn't start from the top down with our DuPage United community organizers, nor does it start with the people who have been longtime leaders in DuPage United. It starts with each and every one of you. Our ability to build power starts with our people who are here today representing Marion Park, who decided to build relationships with their neighbors by knocking on doors and talking to them, with their nearby clergy, and then with Illinois State Senator Seth Lewis, so as to stop the senseless deaths from lack of safe street crossings. It comes from the leaders in the Spanish Mass here at St. Mark's, who are doing listening sessions, identifying issues, and stepping up as leaders. And it comes from those in our community who have family and friends who are in need of affordable, assistive, supportive housing, who related to one another, to their neighbors, to non-member institutions and their communities in order to advocate on behalf of the Glen Ellen housing proposal. In relating and listening to one another, each one of us is building up power, and we are helping to shift how people understand that power. We are recognizing that we hold the power to bring about great change and that we can use that power for immense good in our county. In Judaism, we are taught in Micah 6:8 that there are 3 things that God requires of us: to do justice, to love goodness, and to walk humbly with God. Today, we are fulfilling all of these through our community organizing work. We are doing justice as we organize together. Just look around the room, take a look at your neighbors, at all of the people who have been brought here together because we have related to one another. We are loving goodness, showing kindness and compassion to one another as we truly listen and organize around issues that matter to us and to our community. And we are walking humbly with whomever it is that we pray to, as we understand that each of us has equal power and that in recognizing our own personal power, we can speak out and organize to continue to bring change to DuPage County. We do not have a shortage of problems, issues, or even solutions in DuPage County. We only have a shortage of shared power. Today, we are showing our shared power to act on shared values and create positive change in our community. Today, we are saying from powerless to power with. So say it with me, from powerless to power with. And one more time with real conviction, from powerless to power with. As we move forward with our assembly, let us remember that we are all a reflection of the power that we have built in DuPage United and DuPage County. Let us continue to build upon this power and continue to help others to recognize the power within themselves so that we can continue for the next 20 years to make great change in DuPage County. Thank you.
Excellent talk by Rabbi Weiner. At DuPage United, as Rabbi Weiner mentioned, we build power and we take collective action on local issues. Tonight, we're going to hear about some of these issues that our communities care about and the stories and people surrounding them.
Thank you. Before I begin, I would just like to welcome Reverend Beauchamp and his congregation. I was in one of his services and he promised he would be here. They are here. Thank you. Again, my name is Deborah Suggs. I'm a resident of Marion Park Apartments in Wheaton. We are located on Roosevelt Road, just east of County Farm Road and west of Community Drive, which is the entrance to Marion Joy. Marion Park has 209 apartments and 500 residents, senior citizens, single people, families, and nearly 100 children. Roosevelt Road has 4 lanes of busy traffic. It's poorly lit, and there is no safe way to cross from our apartment community to the shopping center across the street, which has groceries, a pharmacy, and restaurants. My family, well, I personally don't own a car, and neither do many of my neighbors. We have no other option than to cross the street on foot, a very dangerous journey. Since 1998, many of my neighbors have been injured or narrowly missed an injury attempting to cross Roosevelt Road. And 3 of my neighbors have died attempting to walk across the street. The most recent in January of this year. As I'm standing here today, I am reminded of a song from years past, The Impossible Dream, which has a very simple but powerful meaning. It is a song about hope and perseverance. No matter how difficult our dreams may seem, if we just don't give up, they are achievable. What seemingly is impossible suddenly becomes possible. I took an excerpt from the song, To Reach the Unreachable Star. In Marion Park's case, the unreachable star has been a stoplight for safe passage. We were striving against such tough challenges, but have gone from powerless to power with each other and with DuPage United. Thanks to our senior property manager, Mr. Todd Sight, he circulated a petition, but we knew that petitions on their own really didn't work. We had tried it before. Mercy Housing is a dues-paying member institution of DuPage United. It was suggested in our first meeting with the DuPage United organizer that if we really wanted to make a change, we could learn and use the tools of organizing. To share more about how we went from powerless to power with, I now introduce you to my neighbor and fellow Marion Park resident, Miss Elsa Hailu.
Good evening. My name is Elsa. I have been resident in Marion Park since 1998. I moved Marion Park shortly after moving to United States from Ethiopia. I know from their start how dangerous is Roosevelt Road, because I just few days before I moved, my close family member, he was hit and killed, Mr. Asgadom. I didn't even have a chance to meet in person. Since that time, I've been scared and afraid because my children's in my neighborhood, a student from San Francisco High School, cross the street every day with no protections. Back in February 2023, at the first meeting with residents, Safety DuPage United organizer, since that we have had 2 door-to-doors, conference, multiple houses, meetings, visits area church to build allies, attending wired meetings with United and many individual meetings with residents. The result is that over 30 residents for Marion Park are there here today. We meet with Senator Lewis and has committed to work with us. Also meet with 2 Wheaton City Council members, Mayor Sue. All 3 were invited to attend the sampling, but only 1 city councilor member is here today. That is okay. Marion Park and our Wheaton allies will go to them at Wheaton City Council on November 20th.
So, Senator Lewis, we have one question for you. Will you continue to work with us to push this funding request through? Yeah.
So for those of you in the back, the question was, will I continue to work with DuPage United to get a crosswalk where we heard the numbers, 22 people have either died or been injured? Absolutely, I will work with DuPage United. So being a politician, I got 3 minutes. So let me get to the For those of you who don't know me, my name is Seth Lewis. I am state senator in the 24th district, which represents about 250,000 people directly, touches 18 communities in the northwest suburbs that are home to almost 500,000 people. Your Wooddales, Itascas, Elk Grove Village, Schaumburg, coming down in through Wheaton, Glen Ellen, Bartlett, Carroll Stream, just to name a few. I'm an engineer, I'm a small business owner, married to my wife, Bhavna, almost 26 years. We have 2 boys that are the 5th generation to live here in Illinois. And I am committed to working with anyone who wants to make Illinois a place where people want to live versus a place that they want to leave. And that's where DuPage United came in. I'm brand new to the southern half of my district. I was a former state rep in 2020, 21, 22. And DuPage United, Reverend Walker and Deborah, nice to see you again, came with a group of individuals, and they had a problem. And that problem was, as described, the crosswalk. And now, I'm going a little part, I'm in the super minority down in Springfield, so it's, I hear your statement, powerless to power with. I mean, I'm going to take that with me. So I didn't really know what to do except to listen and try and understand where the issues were. And they were with lack of funding and lack of agreement with the and lack of an agreement with the city of Wheaton, lack of understanding with IDOT, which actually has control over the parkway or over the thoroughfare. I met with IDOT. IDOT said, yeah, we did the traffic study right there at Merriam Park Apartments. You can put a stoplight there. It warrants it, but it takes the city's approval to do so. Met with Mayor Cease, excuse me. They had funding issues. There's lots of priorities. So I wish I could say, I'm not going to judge the city of Wheaton, but I understand their issue as well. A stoplight costs $1 million plus today. In addition, there is other congestion just a further away where the Wheaton City Fire Department exits in and out. And in the big scheme of things, that's where they wanted to fix to help all the residents of Wheaton. Came up with a solution. I'm getting my time's up, sorry. So let me just finish here real quick. Effective in the 2024-2025 budget, I am putting in an appropriations request for $1.25 million to fund the stoplight for the city of Wheaton at Merriam Park, along with other improvements along the thoroughfare. And I am committed to helping get this funded so that we can start saving lives at this important thoroughfare. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Our now retired Metro IAF organizer, Greg Pierce, said more than once, if all we had to do to get something done. I'll stand on the box. I really didn't want to get on my soapbox, but I guess I will. If all we had to do to get something done is come up with a good idea, we could just write a letter. We all know it's a lot more complicated than that. It takes building our shared power, creating relationships around a shared vision and shared accountability. There's a song from Marshall Tucker called "It Takes Time." This has been my mantra as a DuPage United leader. Since 2016, one of the DuPage United's objectives has been decriminalizing mental health and substance abuse crises. We set 3 goals. 1, increase police officer training in crisis intervention techniques. 2, establish crisis stabilization services that provide a safe handoff for first responders and provide appropriate treatment for those suffering a crisis, and are available to all residents regardless of age and insurance status. And 3, expand available, affordable, accessible, and supportive housing, because we all know that that is key to emotional security. Since 2026, we have been working to build relationships with county elected officials, law enforcement agencies, and county health department around a shared vision and accountability for these objectives. 5 years ago, we recognized State's Attorney Boleyn and Sheriff Mendrick at an assembly to celebrate our collaborative success of training 75% of DuPage County officers in crisis intervention techniques. Now that is a sustainable win for DuPage United, and that is a sustainable win for all DuPage County residents. We heard from local police officers that they wish they had a better place to take people besides jail or a crowded emergency room when they're in a mental health crisis. We also learned that the county was planning a crisis receiving center that unfortunately would not serve anyone under age 18 and anyone under the influence of a substance. We had been researching various models that were successful, so we met repeatedly with county health officials, sharing our ideas and pointing out the essential population that must be served. And we were given a lot of reasons why services had to be limited. In May last year, 175 DuPage United leaders presented this at our assembly to state representatives Deb Conroy and Tara Costa Howard. We met with each one of them and attended mental health forums to further express what we learned. The needle was moving. We were building relationships and shared accountability. On February 15, 2023, DuPage United leaders met with newly elected County Board Chair Deb Conroy. She announced that DuPage County would build a crisis recovery center that would include all the features that we had advocated for. Now that's a win for DuPage United, and that is a win for all DuPage residents. We want to recognize County Board Chair Conroy, who could not be here today, and all our DuPage United leaders for their persistence and vision in getting crisis recovery services here in DuPage County. And we look forward to our continued partnership with DuPage County Board, here represented by Co-Chair Mike Childress and longtime member Liz Chaplin. And I'd like to just introduce Liz Chaplin. If you could join me up here. Liz Chaplin has been known by DuPage United for many years. She's a fighter and a fiscal champion who asks inconvenient questions of those in power. And she represents the kind of mature public relationship we want to have with all our public officials. And I would like you to respond.
Okay. Well, thank you for that kind introduction. It's an honor to be here with you today. My experience and insights from my journey alongside DuPage United have been about collaboration and progress for our community. In the early 2000s, about 20 years ago when DuPage United first came an organization, I worked with DuPage United to fix the fiscal mismanagement at the DuPage Water Commission and eliminate the sales tax. And since then, I've witnessed their dedication firsthand by attending many of these assemblies, and especially impressive is their work on mental health issues. Advocating, as we heard, about the crisis intervention training for local law enforcement agencies. This past week, I just heard that 100% of Wheaton police are now trained in crisis intervention training. And as you heard about the mental health crisis center that's going to be built in DuPage. I believe in the importance of research and organization for all of us, not just a select few. This helps us serve our community better. I'd like to look at some success stories. Mercy Hospital and Elgin City Government, for example, both collaborating with Fox Valley River Initiative, DuPage United's sister organization, to create a crisis stabilization unit in Mercy Hospital, making it the first hospital in Illinois to offer a designated area for those experiencing a critical mental health emergency. And an award-winning, affordable, permanent supportive housing complex in Elgin, showing the power of shared expertise. Elected officials like me can benefit greatly from organizations like DuPage United. By tapping into their knowledge and working together, we can create a better future. Let's remember that our strength as a community lies in our unity. Our commitment to learning and our passion for change make our communities strong. Let's stay organized and do research and actively participate to make a real difference. I'm excited to continue this journey with all of you, and thank you for all you do, your commitment, and your dedication to a better future for DuPage County.
Good afternoon. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. When you don't have a home, you feel powerless, and that can be extremely overwhelming. I am a case manager for women and children in transitional housing for Islamic Circle of North America, also known as ICNA Relief. I see firsthand women and children who do not have a home and are literally homeless. I'm sure we all have an idea of what a home is. A home is where your basic human necessities are taken care of. It is also a place for one's privacy, safety, and overall sanctuary. A home is also part of a community, no matter the location. A home allows a person to extend hospitality, be kind to their neighbors, and enhance relationships within society. Some of the struggles I face as a case manager is that we are limited to who we can help. The hardest part about my job is when I have to turn people away. Some are placed on a waiting list. Breaks my heart. Our program helps women achieve self-sufficiency in 6 months. 6 months is not a lot of time. Needless to say, in these months, we work closely with our clients so they can achieve their goals. However, after 6 months, where do they go? Well, the hope is that they are ready to transition into their new stage of life and able to sustain themselves and their families. They make such gains while living here. However, when it's time to leave, I see the fear and anxiety return in their eyes while uncertainty rises again. Finding affordable housing opportunities is very challenging. One of our most recent clients, a hardworking single mother with 3 kids, works 2 jobs and has side jobs just to make ends meet. She is now renting a small condo, which is not only difficult for her to sustain, but it is not the type of place many of us would imagine our home to look like. She cannot send her kids outside to play as the surrounding community is not safe. But what other choice does she have? Her options are so limited. Yes, there are challenges, but there is strength in the people we serve. She is a valuable member of the community. The crushing cost of housing should not leave a woman like this feeling powerless. She has within her the power and strength to change our community. Housing affordability crisis affects many people. You may not always see it in the most obvious ways, but if you really look around, the people who live amongst us, grade school teachers, firefighters, delivery drivers, these are all hardworking people who are essential workers in our communities. The cost of housing is usually higher than what they make. They have a hard time affording a home or rental unit because affordable housing is very limited here. There is a 20,000 affordable housing unit shortage here in DuPage County. Where are these people supposed to go? There is a great need for people, whether single or a family, to have better options on where they can live. I am full of hope for a future, though, in which we continue to build affordable housing here in DuPage County. I am committed to learning more about the tools of organizing with DuPage United so I can help the people I serve from feeling powerless to claiming their power and strengthening our community together. Because there is no community without unity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou. I work for Northwestern Medicine Orthopedic Offices as a patient service representative in Glen Ellen. I make sure that you get scheduled to see your doctor when you need to, and that all of your important information gets entered in properly so that the doctors can provide the best care for you. My job is important. I love my job. However, the pay I earn has made it very difficult to find safe, affordable housing. In the past 10 years, I have had to move almost yearly due to the inability to find affordable rent. With each successive move, my apartment got smaller and was farther away from my place of employment. I began renting rooms in houses. At one point, I had to rent a room in a rodent-infested house. My food costs were high because I couldn't eat in that house. or even have snacks because the mice would chew through the packaging. Every night for 2 years, I slept uncomfortably in that house. I felt unsafe and humiliated. Living in these deplorable conditions. I'm fortunate that I had a family member who helped me out of that house, with whom I now share a home. Not everyone has that kind of support. People like me can find jobs in DuPage County, but we cannot find an affordable place to live, so we have to make compromises like I had to, living in a rodent-infested house. I'm a responsible, active citizen of this community, a good friend, a diligent worker, and people like me need affordable housing. Thank you for letting me share my story. Thank you, Mary Lou. As a DuPage United leader, I say no to powerless, and I say yes to power with. And here's why. When we are working together around a shared vision with shared accountability, we all move away from powerless, and we embrace power with. When we build shared power, we build a stronger community. We have engaged community leaders, elected officials, and our residents to build shared power around establishing 6 high-quality, affordable, supportive apartment developments throughout DuPage County. For more than 2.5 years, we have been working with elected officials in Glen Ellen to build our first. We began with the shared vision about replacing a community eyesore, an abandoned hotel on Roosevelt Road, with a high-quality, affordable apartment development with supportive services for its residents. The property checked all the boxes. The enthusiasm was strong, but here we are almost 3 years later, and a decision by the village has not been made. We are not ready to give up. We know that the village is working in good faith to finalize negotiations on the site. I am confident that we are going to build affordable, supportive housing on that site. But there is a lesson to be learned. We dove into a piece of property before we developed our core teams and our community base. Had we done that, we would have been able to cut the time that we've been working on this initiative by half and moved on to the other 5. But there still are 5 more developments to go, so let's start building those relationships now. We have a lot to celebrate. We've been consistent, persistent, and responsibly organized citizens. Our alliances with other institutions like the League of Women Voters Glen Ellen, Habitat for Humanity, Bridge Communities, Hope Fair Housing, and other citizen groups like Families with Intellectual Developmental Disabilities have strengthened our shared power. With that increased power, we walk door to door to our neighbors and up and down Main Street Glen Ellen with the petition. And that if they vote for it, we will have their back. These are actions we can celebrate. Shared power is built with a shared vision and shared accountability. We are showing our shared accountability by being here today on a Sunday evening. Together, let's say no to powerless and let's say yes to power with. Thank you.
We have heard several commitments from elected officials about how they will continue to work with DuPage United on the issues that matter to our member institutions. And I just want to pause a moment to say thank you to all of you. Your faith and dedication to to everyone's issues is manifest today just by your presence here. Thank you. So now it is time for all of us to do our part. We've asked these elected officials to be held accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable too. We need to be willing to take the next steps that will build broad-based power in DuPage United that will help go from powerless to power with. To share one way that power is beginning to be organized, we have a speaker from our hosting member institution, Mr. Mauro Hernandez Castro. I think he's already spoken, so. You have a card that, a commitment card. I ask you to read it and did I overlook someone? Did I overlook you? I'm sorry, Mr. Castro, I was right. Mr. Castro, my apologies, please. From St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Glen Ellen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mauro Hernandez, and I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to be here in front of you. Thank you for coming. I'm a member of St. Mark's for the last 12 years, basically all the time that I've been living in this country. I want to welcome all the elected officials, all the leaders and members of DuPage United, and those people in general. Quiero dar la bienvenida a todos los oficiales electos, a los líderes y miembros de DuPage United y a todas las personas en general. Gracias por acompañarnos. I am an immigrant. I arrived to this country 12 years ago with only 4 pieces of luggage. 12 years after, now, I still wonder how I was able to do it. I asked you, how can you pack decades of living, memories, care, traditions, culture in just 4 pieces of luggage? And yet we did it. And every week and every month, thousands of people around the world do the same thing, even in conditions worse than mine. I was pursuing a better life for my family, especially for my kids, 8 years and 5 years old at that time. I wanted to give them better and more opportunities. Doors full of opportunities that they could open with the only limitation of their will and their desire. I wanted them to speak in a second language in the same way they speak Spanish. I can gladly say that was accomplished. In recent weeks, the Latino community in St. Mark's, several of those are here, thank you, met in listening sessions. During that time, 5 facilitators and leaders were trained. I'm one of those. We were able to talk to 30 people, and I'm privileged that they were able to open their hearts and talk about something so sensitive as their immigration struggle. They talked to me about all the barriers that they face on a daily basis. Language is one of those. They talked to me about the uncertainty that they live on a daily basis, how those barriers leave them vulnerable to unequal and unfair treatment. Deportation is a risk. Being separated from their family is something that they have in their minds every day. Sin embargo, en San Marcos nos hemos organizado. Somos una comunidad colorida, fuerte y determinada. We are immigrants and we are brave. We are committed to what being an immigrant and Latino is. We are very conscious of that. We are proud of our roots, and we are aware of the vital role that we play in this community and this country. I'm very glad that you are here. Estoy muy contento porque ustedes están aquí. We look forward to meet with you again as often as your busy agenda allows. We want to share with you everything that we have learned in the process, everything that we have accomplished. Queremos compartir con ustedes todo lo que hemos aprendido en todo este tiempo, todo lo que hemos cumplido, todo lo que hemos logrado. And above all, we can partner, and we want to partner with you to move the immigration agenda forward. I conclude by thanking all of you for being here this afternoon. Thank you for your attendance and your attention. And I'm going to keep praying God that continues blessing this country, the United States of America, and all the people that lives here, regardless of where they come from. Voy a seguir pidiendo al Señor para que bendiga esta tierra que nos ha acogido y a todos sus habitantes, independientemente de dónde provengan. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Mr. Castro, thank you for your inspirational message of not giving up hope, for inspiring me to know that anything is possible if we just keep believing, keep sticking to the task. You have in your hand a commitment card. I ask you to please read it and fill it out, please. It's self-explanatory. There are 3 options. I want to build my core team. I want to attend leadership training. I want to help with a fundraiser. Thank you ever so much again.
Okay, well, I was a little over exuberant, and there's one, I gotta get on my soapbox again. And there's one more thing I wanted to mention, an important note. Although Congresswoman Delia Ramirez could not be here today due to a personal emergency, which we learned about at 2 p.m., she has given us her commitment to meet with us in 60 days, and we believe that is her firm commitment, and we plan to hold her to it. Thank you.
See if I can work my own mic here. Buenas noches. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. As you saw and heard today, we might have different issues and come from different places, but what we share is a common interest to build and use our shared power to improve our communities together. Quran chapter 49, verse 13 states, "O mankind, indeed we created you from a single pair of male and female, and made you into nations and tribes, so that you may come together and get to know each other, not so you despise each other. Surely the best among you in the sight of God is the best in deeds. Allah is truly all-knowing, all-wise." When Marion Park residents are organized and strong, we are strong. When my institution, the Islamic Center of Naperville, is strong, we as a whole are strong. The work we do inside and around our institutions to build core teams and relate to our neighboring institutions make us strong as a whole. Again, I go back to the Quran on justice. Chapter 4, verse 135 states, "O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to God, even as against yourselves or your parents or your kin, and whether it be against rich or poor, for God can best protect both. Do not then follow your own desires, lest you keep away from justice, and if you distort justice, or decline to do justice. Verily, God is well acquainted with what you do. So we go back to powerless, from powerless to power with. Let's do it.
Just to be a little more specific about the options on our commitment cards, I'll just briefly explain each one. I want to build my core team. Building a core team is about finding leaders in your institution who are committed to using the tools of organizing to strengthen your institutions and address issues your institution cares about. Mr. Hernandez Castro shared how St. Mark's is beginning to build their core team through listening sessions. Well, we've been doing some things, canvassing and town hall meetings, and just getting familiar with our neighbors and getting the word out there. I want to attend leadership training. On the back of your agenda sheet is some upcoming leadership training events. Intro to Organizing on Tuesday evening, November 28th in West Chicago. 3-day training in February on President's Day weekend. Our staff organizers are ready to work with our core teams when we are ready to dig deep. Yeah, that's heavy, dig deep, we need to. That's the only way we're going to accomplish something. I want to help with a fundraiser. As we all know, funding is a big issue. That is a major issue. We talk a lot about building power through organizing people across a broad and diverse base. We also build power through organizing our own money. We do not accept government funding. We are funded by member institution dues, some grants, and individual donations. This keeps us flexible and fiercely nonpartisan. However, we need to commit to funding this organization if we're going to continue to grow and do this transformative work we've heard about today. We are planning a fundraiser for this February and a Zoom planning meeting on January 9th. Thank you.
Well, if politicians get 3 minutes, then preachers ought to get at least 20, right? Fortunately, I used them all up this morning in worship, so let us pray as we go forth from this place tonight. Everlasting God of many names and all people, yours is the hand that pulls together the disparate threads of our experiences, our stories, our lives, and our dreams, and weaves them into a glorious tapestry, a single garment of destiny, a blanket to shelter the cold, a cloth to wipe away the tears of the oppressed, and a banner that boldly proclaims justice. Friends, as you go forth from this place tonight, may you do so with peace, with passion, and with power. Amen.
Real quick, just to get the visual, make sure everyone's got them. Can we all please hold our commitment cards up in the air, wave them around? This is just incredible, the amount of power that we have in this room. So can we just recognize that? Thank you guys so much. Now, we will be adjourning early so that after hearing all these incredible talks, all these incredible conversations and commitment to power and action, we're adjourning early so that we can begin to build our core teams. Those leaders who were involved in this action, please gather in the library in the back so that we can discuss. And this meeting is now officially adjourned. Thank you.
Great job. Great job.
She did great. She was fantastic. This is your first time sharing.